Hare Krishna. The broad strategy. This is a very, very important chapter in the Bhakti-Vruksha manual. Let us try to understand what is this broad strategy. The main objective of the broad strategy is bringing a person to eventually join a Bhakti-Vruksha group. That means this particular chapter helps the Bhakti-Vruksha leader and his team as to how to add more members to his existing Bhakti-Vruksha group. Here, the idea is to take a person from the first contact with Krishna consciousness to the point of he committing to devotional service. In broad strategy, we have three phases. In fact, it is mentioned as the three C's. C for Chaitanya. The three C's are contact, cultivate, and the commitment. As the name itself indicates, contact is how effectively we use various tools and means to effectively contact a new people. Cultivation means, in simple words, is to build the relationship with the contacted people. Third C, commitment means how effectively the new member who has been contacted and who has been cultivated gives commitment to come to the Sunday programs, to participate in our festivals, or maybe to join our Bhakti-Vruksha group as a Bhakti-Vruksha member. In fact, it has been said that the Bhakti-Vruksha group members should themselves be active in all these three phases. To successfully apply this strategy takes very good coordination and cooperation of all the devotees involved, like temple leaders, temple devotees, book distributors, BV preachers, and BV group members. It has been said that Bhakti-Vruksha groups can only grow by cultivating new people and gradually making them as group members. In the beginning of the BV program, generally the first groups are mainly made of existing congregation members. But in order to keep growing and multiplying the existing groups, one needs to concentrate on building and gradually introducing new people to the Bhakti-Vruksha group. Now let's go in deep with regard to the first C, which is contact. In ISKCON, by the divine mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have wonderful programs and various activities. The devotees in the Bhakti-Vruksha group, or maybe the Bhakti-Vruksha leader, can use all these facilities in getting new contacts to his groups. He can get contacts through book distribution. When he goes for book distribution, when he hands over the books, he can take their details. That will help the person who has taken the book for his clarification, and that will also help the person who has given the book to cultivate them so that he could add them to the Bhakti-Vruksha group in the future. And one can get contacts through our wonderful festivals. One can get contacts when you go on a Harinam. And one can get contacts when you do sometimes some other program in some other temple. Like this, contacts can be generated in all these various ways. One thing to be kept in mind is all contacts cards, book markers, or maybe the survey forms must be given without delay to whomever it is supposed to receive them. Because If the contacts are not acted upon quickly, it will either be lost or it is said to become cold or eventually got lost completely. And also pertaining to assigning the contacts, contacts should be assigned for follow-up to a discriminating and a dynamic person in the Bhakti Vriksha group. Contacts should go to the right devotees and shouldn't sit unused for ages. With regard to following up the contacts, it should be given to specific Bhakti Vriksha groups for cultivation. That means, let's say the contacts obtained, he stays in Basveshwar Nagar in Bangalore. So that means it should be given to the Bhakti Vriksha group that is being conducted in the Basveshwar Nagar area in Bangalore city. Also, it is better to assign a contact according to interest, occupation and age. For example, it may be a Mataji's Bhakti Vriksha group, or it may be a young boys Bhakti Vriksha group, or it may be a professionals Bhakti Vriksha group, something like that. It has also been told that one must identify the best contacts and concentrate on them first. Something like, it has been told, the really hot ones first. Mistakes in judging the level of interest of a person may cause a big waste of time and energy. That's the reason the Bhakti Vriksha leader or the people who obtains the contact should use their proper discretion as to who needs to be contacted, who needs to be contacted through high priority. Coming to the cultivation, as I mentioned before, in short, cultivation means building relationship or friendship with the obtained contacts. There are actually 4 effective ways of cultivating a person, because cultivation is extremely important to add new people to our Bhakti Vriksha group. Generally, in our Bhakti Vriksha groups, it's a misnomer or a mistaken identity that as soon as we obtain a contact, we generally call them to our program or maybe to our Bhakti Vriksha program, which is a blunder. When we obtain a contact, some amount of time and energy should be invested towards cultivating the person, building relationship with the person. Once that cultivation is done, gradually the third step of getting commitment or maybe making the person to come to our Sunday program or attending our Bhakti Vriksha group can be expected from the Bhakti Vriksha leader. So cultivation is a very essential aspect which can never be trespassed. Coming to the 4 ways of cultivating a person. The first way of cultivating or building relationship with the person is, it has been told that it can be through email or it can be as simple as using a SMS or a WhatsApp. This is to just start the initial trigger. Prabhu, we obtained your contact during Harinam. Prabhu, we obtained your contact during book distribution or maybe festival. So this is a picture taken during the festival. This is for your information. This is the quotation that was discussed in the class in that festival, and this is for information. This is how the initial cultivation can be triggered by the aid of mail, emails, SMS, WhatsApp, etc. Second way of cultivation is much more higher. It is by phone. A very good technique or a very good tool pertaining to cultivation is concerned. With regard to phone cultivation, as a generic rule, one should not try to call when people are working or maybe eating or sleeping. The person being called should perceive that whoever calls him cares about him as a person, not just as a mere number or as a candidate for joining a mere religion. Another head count, they say, right? One should remember when he calls that he is representing the mission of Sriman Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada's movement. One should be in a prayerful mood, sincerely desiring to be able to have the right consciousness and to say the right things in the right time, to help the person in becoming more connected with the devotees and engage in devotional service. Again, with regard to the phone cultivation, the call should be casual and informal. One should be sensitive enough and carefully listen to the mood of the person, not just his words. Call should be very brief. The things that might be discussed are maybe festivals, or maybe the Sunday programs, or maybe Srila Prabhupada books, or maybe the caller's Krishna conscious life, or maybe about the Bhakti Vriksha group, or maybe answering some of the philosophical questions that the contact may have. The caller devotee should not get involved in arguments or debates. That one should keep in mind. Since there is a positive response from the receiver, the caller should not also force a philosophical talk or try to give a Bhagavad Gita class over the phone. These are some of the things that one should bear in mind pertaining to the phone cultivation. Coming to the third point of cultivation, which is in-house cultivation. In-house cultivation means, please try to understand, in the first cultivation, he sent the message through email, through WhatsApp or SMS. In the second cultivation, he spoke through the phone. But now, in-house cultivation is directly meeting the person in his house, or he may invite the contacted person to his house, or the both of them can meet in some other place, whichever is convenient for them. What happens in this? Why this is very important, in-house cultivation? It's a very important activity. The visitation team are formed by the Bhakti Vriksha leader in consultation with the group. The in-home visitation must always be made by two devotees, one senior and one junior, and never by just one, because this motivates the devotees. This will have more impact, and the junior devotee learns by observing the senior devotee, etc., etc. Also, all in-house visits should be made by appointments only, fixed at least one day in advance. Some people may require months of personal cultivation before joining a Bhakti Vriksha group, but this endeavor should continue. The preacher should be ready to associate with that person for weeks or months to bring him to the point of committing to spiritual life. Generally, when the visitation team visits the contacts, they should take something like prasadam, or maybe a small book, japamalas, a magazine, a pamphlet, or maybe a DT picture. The first impression is very important, and there is only one chance to make it. And let's keep it in mind, the goal of this visit is to establish a relation of friendship, to feel the person comfortable about being with the devotees. I repeat, to feel the person comfortable about being with the devotees. Just to highlight on this point, many of the social people in the society, they may not be comfortable to be with the devotees. Many may be comfortable, but they may hesitate that, can I mingle with them? I go to the office, can I mingle with them? I wear jeans and t-shirt, can I mingle with them? I have so many other habits and activities. Can I mingle with them? Will they accept me? These are all some of the inhibitions they have, and this in-house visitation may slowly erase these inhibitions. With regard to in-house visitation, when the guest was offered food, the preachers should maintain their standards. At the same time, try to please their host, and they should avoid a fanatical, rude attitude which may spoil their whole work. Topics that can be generally discussed during the in-house visitation can be the preacher's personal Krishna conscious life as to how it has affected him, how chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra has affected him and its benefits, how attending Bhakti Ruksha weekly meetings has given him the benefits, how the Sunday program has nurtured him further and further in his devotional service, and there can be light philosophical topics, and the effects of reading Srila Prabhupada books, etc., etc. The visitation team should not try to stay too long or should leave too quickly. He has to ensure a clear balance. So having discussed the third form of cultivation, let us come to the fourth and final form of cultivation process, which is making the contacts participating in our various temple programs. We sent emails, we sent SMSs through WhatsApp, and we use WhatsApp also. We also cultivated using phone. We also did in-house visitation, and the fourth cultivation process is making the contacts participate in our various temple programs. And this form of cultivation can be something like our major festivals, or maybe our regular Sunday feast programs, or maybe even BV group meetings as a guest. And again, point to be noted is when the devotees have reached the fourth stage of cultivation, they should also keep in mind the other types of cultivation. The first three cultivation must continue while the person starts to take part in various Krishna conscious activities. The devotees should help the person feeling good in being with other devotees, feeling welcome, wanted, accepted, and being valued. The devotees need to introduce him to others. They need to get him prasadam, etc. More phone calls and in-home visitations by the preachers are special ways of saying that the person is really special for him. Generally, the person formally decides to join the Bhakti Ruksha group after attending a few Bhakti Ruksha meetings, maybe as guests. Now, having discussed the four cultivation process under the second section, that is the cultivation section, now we'll come into the final C, which is the commitment section. Here, there may be many ways that a new person may show his commitment to Krishna consciousness. Sometime he may join as a temple devotee. Sometime he may seriously start practicing sadhana bhakti at home. Or sometime he may be willingly attends Bhakti Ruksha meetings as a guest or as a member. Here, we are specifically pointing about or discussing about the devotee joining the Bhakti Ruksha group as a full-fledged member. That is our goal pertaining to the commitment and the broad strategy as a whole. Again, joining should not be too informal. Otherwise, it has been said that the person may take his membership very lightly and he may start behaving casually, and sometimes he may start skipping meetings or coming late, or he may take the group more as a social gathering than as a serious opportunity to practice and apply Krishna consciousness in one's life. The group leader should ensure to assign a personal guide to help the new member in his systematic training in philosophy and practical Vaishnava activities. The new member receives a home study course to cover the basic teachings from Srila Prabhupada books. When a new member joins the Bhakti Vriksha group, there is no guarantee that he remains in the group unless he is made to feel a part of the life of the group. Let's keep this in mind. Ideally, a new member should establish a couple of close friendship. Take responsibility for an area of service and begin some sort of light preaching activity works. It has been told in the manual that unless it takes these steps, there is a risk that he will soon become a dropout. Let me highlight again these points. After contacting the person, after cultivating the person using 4 different ways, bringing him to the point of commitment of making him becoming a Bhakti Vriksha member, that itself will not guarantee he stays in the group until and unless a Bhakti Vriksha group ensure certain quick, close friendship to that person. Some responsibility of an area of service should be given to him, and also he should somehow start a little preaching activities. These things will ensure to stick himself into the Bhakti Vriksha group. Finally, a little personal attention may have more effect than a scholarly lecture on the Vedanta Sutra. Here the point to be noted is personal attention and the personal care. In fact, if we dig deep into Srila Prabhupada philosophy in our glorious movement ISKCON, we come to the conclusion that care is the most important and significant word or a concept, we can say. Without care, nothing works. You may be a scholar in the Vedanta Sutra, still it may not work if it is not added with a care to that person. In fact, the Bhakti Vriksha manual gives a very striking statement saying, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Signs of personal care and friendship can have a deeper impact, and hence we would like to summarize saying care is the most important factor in dealing with a new person and in cultivating him to become a wonderful devotee so that he could achieve the real objective of his life. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.